Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2022. My name is Seif Bedard, and I'm the director of the Academy, and today will serve as your Master of Ceremonies, along with my good friend, North Shore Mall General Manager, Mark Whiting, whom I'll introduce to you shortly. We have a lot to celebrate today. To start, we're here to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. High school is a difficult journey for any teenager, and the COVID pandemic that we faced over the last 2 years has made that journey even harder. Our graduates had to deal with remote learning, hybrid learning, asynchronous learning, Google Meet, Zoom, social distancing, COVID testing, test to stay to test, wearing masks, contact tracing, quarantining, mixed in with all the typical growing pains that a teenager faces. And yet, we all made it here today. Before I turn things over to Mark, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank some very special people. First, to our wonderful teachers and staff, and when I call their names, I'd ask them to please stand. Mr. Kevin Tanglis, Ms. Sarah Murray, Dr. Chris Lord, Ryan Brown, and Joanne Magaletta. I'd like to personally thank each of you for your hard work, patience, and dedication to our students. I'd also like to thank the North Shore Mall team of General Manager Mark Whiting, Lauren Dulles, and Jackie O'Neill for all of their support, especially your efforts in organizing this wonderful ceremony and our continued partnership. On behalf of our school district, we cannot express how much we truly appreciate all that you do for our students in our school system. I'd like to thank all of our members of local government that were here today, including Mayor Ted Betancourt, our state representatives, members of our school committee and city council. I'd also like to recognize all the parents and family members of our graduates. Can I ask all parents and family members to please stand as we recognize your accomplishment today? I bet when this journey began 12 or so years ago, you never would imagine that it would end here in the middle of the shopping mall. We're very proud and grateful that this chapter of your child's life did end here and that we're able to make an impact on what should last a lifetime. Each year I begin graduation with one of my favorite quotes. The great hockey coach, Herb Brooks, once said, "Great moments are born from great opportunity." And that's what we have here today, and that's what our graduates have earned today. I'd like to introduce now my partner for the last 12 years, North Shore Mall General Manager, Mark Whiting. Mark is a great friend, partner, and has been instrumental in the Academy's success. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mark Whiting.
Well, first of all, to the students, this is your day. And congratulations. It's been a pleasure to get to know you all, to watch you really push through, to persevere, and ultimately to succeed. And I'm truly proud to be part and to be associated of what you have just accomplished or are accomplishing today. I would be remiss today if I didn't acknowledge, and I'll introduce a couple people, but I wanted to have Dr. Milt Burnett stand up. He's in the back. 13 years ago, Milt and I, Ed Sapienza, who at the time was the principal of the high school, flew down to Rose Media, Pennsylvania to see a school that we really didn't quite understand. And from that trip came forth with the support of Bev Dunn and a lot of the school board members at the time. Really came forth the idea of putting a school here at the mall. And 12 graduating classes later, It really has proven to be one of the finest things I've been associated with here at the mall. I'm going to say that as a mall manager, you got to be tough. You got to really push hard, especially these days. And you have to be pretty good at public speaking. So what you're going to see here today is an aberration of who I really am, because I'm going to get very emotional, and I'm probably going to stutter a little bit. And it's because there's no greater day, no greater moment at North Shore each year that is more meaningful and that is happier for me and my staff. And I mean that. Well, of course, for me, there's always the closing announcement at Christmas Eve. That's pretty good, too. So, without further ado, I just want to first have everyone stand for a minute. And I think this class really personifies so much. And we're so lucky today to be here with them. But I wanted to take a moment, and it's the first time I've ever done this, and I just want to all of us have a moment of silence to recognize the students and the teachers that were lost this week. And I hope that we can have a moment of silence just to think about the communities throughout the country, the schools, the malls that have suffered a similar loss, and pay a moment of silence to those that are no longer here with us. All right, thank you. You can all have a seat, get comfortable. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the mayor of Peabody, who I've had, the honor to work with on so many different projects. When I first came to this mall 25 years ago, I can tell you I never thought we would have 145,000 square foot Lifetime Fitness with a swimming pool, or an automobile dealership that only sold electric vehicles. I can tell you that. So through Mayor Betancourt's forward-thinking support of the property and the mall, I've developed a great friendship, a great partnership that produces just fantastic results. And so I'm very grateful to welcome and introduce Mayor Ted Betancourt.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am happy and honored to be here today to celebrate this important day in the lives of our students. I want to congratulate all of our graduates. All of you have overcome very different challenges outlined by Mr. Bedard, but there are many personal challenges that all of you have gone through. You've persevered, you worked your way through. I'm sure there were days where you didn't want to deal with it anymore, or thought about quitting and not going back to school, but you hung in there, and today you've accomplished something very important, something you'll always have, that high school diploma, and I really wanted to congratulate all of you. To your families and your parents and families, congratulations to you as well. I have 4 children. I know there are some difficult moments, difficult days, but there are some wonderful days, and today is one of those, and I want to congratulate all of you. Without your love and support, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be here to receive this diploma. I want to thank Mr. Bedard and his team of excellent educators who work extremely hard to provide for our students under difficult circumstances, and I want to give special thank you to Mr. Whiting, Simon Properties, and Mr. Whiting's team. They have big hearts here at North Shore Mall, and we're lucky to have them in the city of Peabody. Today is a great day. Congratulations. You've earned this. You've earned this accomplishment, and I'm very proud to have you a part of our school system, and the city of Peabody is proud of all of you. So thank you very much.
All right, well, first of all, I would be remiss to note that this is the 12th ceremony we've had up here. I break out the tie once a year. So it's been out 12 times thus far, and I hope I make it to a couple more. We've had almost 200 students graduate from the Peabody Learning Academy here at North Shore Mall, which is an incredible accomplishment and a great tribute to Seith and Sarah and Kevin and the Peabody School Education Department. But I also want to recognize a couple other individuals. State Senator Joan Lovely, who has made every single one of the graduations, has been our commencement speaker in years past and has been so supportive of the school, of education in our state, and is a real force in government. Unfortunately, she could not be here today. And I know if she could, she would. She's just that kind of person. But it's my pleasure to welcome her Chief of Staff, Joanna Wakeland, who is here in her place.
All right. Good morning. So obviously the senator wishes that she could be here this morning. Unfortunately, she cannot be, so I guess you're all just stuck with me. But I will try and offer some words of wisdom. It has not been too long for me since I was sitting where you are now, looking out, young person, what's going to happen to me? What does the future look like? And I know that right now, this week, last week, might look a little scary. So I hope that even today, as things look maybe a little different than you might have imagined, that you are still so excited and so happy to be sitting where you're sitting, to be moving on in this new adventure in life. It's absolutely an honor to just be able to be here with you today as you celebrate this milestone. I know the added stress of COVID-19 has made things so much more difficult. And I have to commend each and every one of you for staying committed to your studies and to getting here, no matter how hard that it was. And as you sit here this morning, poised on the edge of this new adventure, this new journey, it's important to take a look around you and recognize all the individuals in this room that have helped you get to your seat at today's ceremony. Behind all great individual achievements, there's a big support system. And at one point or another, especially in the last couple of years, we've all had to turn to a friend, a family member, a teacher for guidance. And during this most challenging times, those confidants have helped motivate us, get us to where we want to be, and ultimately help us reach our goals. And those small circles of family, those supported loved ones, those are more important than ever. And they will ground you as you move forward. They will be your rocks as you struggle at times to figure out what's my next step, where do I want to go? Remember them, turn back to them, look at your parents and all of the people who are here to support you today. That's your rock, that's your family. And stick with them and turn to them when things get hard. Because I know for me, the last couple of years, I have called my mother more in the last 2 years than I have in the last 30. So call them, talk to them, get their guidance, get their support. Things are going to happen that are outside of your control, that seem crazy and wild. And that's when you call your friends, your parents, your loved ones, and you get guidance on how to move forward, on what next to do. Because there are so many options out there for you. There is this great big world that's just opened up to you with this diploma. And there are so many businesses that are looking for people like you, that are looking for strong, good employees. And you can go out and you can find those jobs and you can get that and you can move on and be so much more than I think any of you thought that you could be. And so as we sit here, I want you to remember that, graduation is an important milestone, but it's really just a stepping stone to everything that's next. And I want to commemorate the hard work that you've put in and the success that you've had in your lives up to this point. Because this is a celebration of your success and your hard work and your dedication to reaching your goals. But it's important to realize that your future will also be based on those things, hard work and dedication. And it's up to each of you to carve out your future and embrace the opportunities before you. Reach your hopes and dreams with enthusiasm and courage and never, ever give up. If you want something, never, ever give up. Each of you has an individual success story, obstacles, triumphs, ambitions, fears. And as unique as you are, you have made it here today with one commonality, that you had the will and the tenacity to get here, to be sitting here today. I know that each of you will continue to learn and grow in the next phases of your life, and I hope that you will take the time to celebrate all of your successes, big and small. So congratulations to the class of 2022, and best of luck in your future endeavors. And thank you so much for having me today.
Joanna, we should get you back as a commencement speaker. That was fantastic. I'm going to interject a little fatherly advice along the way here today. You know, all the graduates know who I am. I've been down to the school. I've gotten to at least know who they are to some extent. And I'm going to first start by saying that I read in a 4th grade class every week at the Carroll School. Some of you know that. To Mrs. Villagor's class, and I've read, yesterday I was down there, and we were commenting, it was my 17th year reading to her class. So some of you may have been in Mrs. Villagor's class, I don't know, but what I wanted to say was, one thing I impart to the class every year is the same saying I say to my son every day before he leaves for school. And if you just remember the phrase, it's going to serve you so well in life. It's so simple. Be a good student and be a good friend. If you do that, just that, life has a way of taking care of itself. And I have to say, I realized I've always known he's a good friend. But I didn't realize what a great student he was until I got one call right in the middle of COVID. The mall was closed. We were putting all those 1-foot strips of black tape all the way up and down the mall, my son, my operations director, and his daughter. And in the middle of it all, a call came to me, and it was from our state rep, Tom Walsh. And he said, hey, Mark, how you doing up there? And I'm like, well, not so great. He says, I'd like to come up. I'd like to walk the mall with you. I'd like to understand what you're dealing with. That's just the way he is. He is an advocate for everything that happens in our community. He makes things happen, and he is what a state rep should be about. I don't even live in Peabody, and I can tell you, if I had to pick a state rep to represent my needs, my causes, my issues, it would be Tom Walsh. So Tom, I want to bring you up, and I want to introduce you, and I want to tell you how proud I am to be your student and how much I admire you, how much to be your friend, and how much I admire you as a student that you are. From the heart, okay?
Now you know why I like coming here. Wow. Thank you, Mark, for, you know, I wish some of my teachers from years ago could have heard that I was such a great student, and my parents as well. But anyway, to the graduates, today is a day of celebration. We heard Mr. Bedard mention that, Joe mentioned it, and it really is the word of the day. It's your personal celebration for the accomplishments that you've achieved over these last several years. It's really, you know, it's a personal celebration for you. I'm sure Mark and Mr. Bedard and the faculty are all celebrating as well, so it's a collective celebration in that respect. But as a community, the mayor can tell you that everybody in this city of Peabody is so incredibly proud of your accomplishments, that you are now moving to the next phase of your life. You know, I was thinking this morning, a lot of you are probably thinking, finally, I got to the finish line. And yeah, you did, and congratulations for that. But with every finish line, there's a starting line, and there are so many opportunities out there. I see all the orange, and I thought, well, I'm a Salem State graduate, and I thought, well, this is great. Everybody's ready if you're heading over to Salem. But I just wanted to leave you with a quote that I had the opportunity to share with a group of students at the library the other night, and it's from George Peabody. And George Peabody once said that it is not our task to create order out of chaos. Rather, we need to get our work done in the midst of chaos. And I think nobody exemplifies that more than you as students going through this last several years. You really are, you have a lot to be proud of, and we are so proud of you. We admire what you've done, and it's just a small piece of what you will do in the future. You've got the foundation. We look forward to seeing your great success in the years ahead. I love being part of the ceremony. I am so happy for all of you and your families. Enjoy the day. Celebrate, because God knows we can use a little happiness, and you guys have provided that for us today. So thanks, good luck, and look forward to hearing great stories about you in the future.
Peabody and Danvers is also extremely lucky to be represented by State Rep Sarah Kearns. Sarah and I had the pleasure of working with each other on getting the newly installed Peabody Logan Express. So you guys that are graduating, when you need to fly out of town on a moment's notice, you can thank our State Rep Sarah Kearns for helping get that done. So come on up.
It's okay. Really, you can just call me Tom Walsh's sidekick, and that is A-okay with me. So that's okay. You can call me Sally. You can call me Sarah. Just don't call me late for dinner. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you to the Academy. I've been dying to say that. Thank you, Seth Bedard. Thank you to the school committee, the unbelievably wonderful city of Peabody. I'm in 3 communities now, and I'm going to be representing 5. There's no place like this community in terms of community spirit and connectedness. I've lived my life in Danvers down the street from a mall. I don't know who the manager is, but everyone knows this man and all that he does for the community, and I must correct you. Logan Express was Tom's baby. I was along for the ride. So I just want to, there's not much to add, and this is your day. For you graduates, members of the class of 2022, as COVID class members, you will be connected for the rest of your lives to people your age who were in school during the incredible pandemic of 2020 to 2022-ish. And so I hope that that brings a sense of pride that we got through this. You got through it together with your families, with the community. So congratulations. At the risk of raising a few eyebrows, I will say that today is not really a completion. Well, it is. It is. You have run the race. You got all your work done. You're probably still a little sleep deprived. But to commence is to begin. And so amidst world challenges, and I think we all in public life owe you younger people an apology for the climate crisis that we haven't quite gotten around to dealing with. That will be one of your world challenges. We have division in our country. That will fall as well to all of you to grapple with. Will I be involved in civic life? Do I even care about what government does? I hope that you'll decide at some point to say, gee, wonder what's going on in that legislature or that city council or that school committee. Because sometimes there's some pretty darn great things going on, and we're seeing it right here today. On the positive side, you are coming into the world at this particular moment when the opportunities are boundless. Whether you go to college, whether you go to the workforce directly, by the way, it is a job seekers market right now. There are so many opportunities, more than you might know about. Take advantage of things in the community. The fact that you're concluding one chapter doesn't mean that you don't still have resources available to you to plan your path. So I hope that you take advantage of those opportunities to continue your story, because everyone's journey is about becoming their best selves. And I'm just going to close with, and Tom will chuckle, because far be it from me to be quoting religious figures, but I think it's quite fitting. Go forth, as St. Ignatius of Loyola said, go forth and set the world on fire. Thank you, and congratulations to each and every one of you and your families.
Thank you, Ms. Kearns. For the last 2 years, I've been very fortunate to work with our superintendent, Dr. Josh Vidala. Dr. Vidala, under his leadership, we're able to provide our children with one of the best learning opportunities in the state. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent of schools, Dr. Josh Vidala.
Thank you very much. I'd like to begin just by thanking the Simon Youth Foundation and Mark Whiting for this amazing opportunity for our kids. You have an incredible amount of support from our mayor to our state reps and our senator and our school committee members here, and of course from your parents. I'd also like to start it off by just thanking Mr. Bedard and Sarah and Kevin for the incredible work that our staff does. Can I get a round of applause for them, please? Thank you so much for the work that you do. I'd like to take my time here and talk to the graduates. Mr. Bedard began by talking about the journey. You each have an individual journey that is unique, and today's an opportunity for you to sit back and reflect on your journey, because sometimes it may have felt insurmountable. It may have felt like a big task. And it made me think, as I was coming over here, when I was a kid, my family and I used to go to New Hampshire. We used to go to North Conway area, and we used to go to see Mount Washington. Mount Washington's the largest peak in the Northeast. So when I was a little boy, we drove in the car up to the peak of Mount Washington, and I sat there and I looked at the peak and I was excited. And when we got to the top, I was enamored by this amazing view. And it was beautiful up there. That is not your path. You're not sitting passively while someone else brings you to the top of the mountain. A couple summers later, with my family, we decided to hike up the mountain. And it was hard. The entire time, though, I had my eye on that peak. And I could see that peak, and I enjoyed it. And when I got up there, it was a little bit of a different feeling. I was able to see and appreciate a little bit more the view that we had. But again, I had my eye on the peak the entire time. I was able to see it, and I knew that it was in reach. As I looked across, I saw a group of young men and women who were coming up. And they looked like they worked hard. They had little sticks in their hands, and they were sweaty. And I saw that their path wasn't the same as mine. And when they looked out, the vision that they had in their eye was different. So I asked my dad, what's with these people? And he said, oh, those are trailblazers. They don't take the path that we took. They take a different path. It's much harder. You can't always see the top. You can't always see where you are. Sometimes you need a guide. That's your path. Each one of you is a trailblazer. The path was very difficult for you to get here. You couldn't always see that summit. You couldn't always see the peak. But when you get to the top of that mountain, when you reach the stage today, and if you decide to walk next Friday night at the high school graduation, you're going to look at the world with a different appreciation and a different perspective than your classmates. And I appreciate the work that you've done, and I know that your parents are very proud of you, and I hope that you get to take some time to really take a look at that perspective that you now have and use that as you go forward. There'll be other mountains that you need to climb in your life. There'll be other challenges that you have, and you now have the perseverance, and you now have those skills to look at the world in a different perspective. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Enjoy the day. It's yours.
Thank you, Dr. Vidala. We're very pleased to have in attendance today the President and CEO of our great partner in education, the Simon Youth Foundation. Ms. Andrea Neely oversees 44 Simon Youth Academies in 16 states. Under her leadership, the Simon Youth Foundation is igniting hope to students throughout the country. I now welcome Ms. Andrea Neely to address our graduates on behalf of the Simon Youth Foundation and Board of Directors.
So before I get started, this is a moment in time that I would like to capture because what I see is absolutely amazing from this stage. So I'm taking a little personal privilege. And I hope there's no one, I will be posting this on Facebook. Class of 2022, congratulations. You are amazing. Good afternoon. Protocol has been established. All of our dignitaries have been acknowledged, our superintendents, but most importantly, our graduates. You're here under extraordinary times, but you got here through a secret sauce. And when people say, what is the secret sauce about the Simon Youth Foundation? It is your teachers. Teachers, please stand. These are the reasons why you persevere. You're resilient because they had your back. They were with you on good days, bad days, the other days you probably don't even remember or recall. They never left your side. These will be the ones that you'll always go back and go, remember that one teacher said this? Or the one that really made you angry? That means they made a difference in your life. That is the secret sauce as to why Simon Youth Foundation is successful. Not only that, amazing leaders that sit every day and are committed to the work, and we could not do that without you. Gentlemen, please stand. My next life, I want to be a teacher because that's a gift that continues to give long after you have given it. So, class of 2022, you are now going to be part of an amazing new community. And you've heard that word, community. You will now be part of a legacy of the Simon Youth Foundation alumni. You will join 24,000 other alumni who now take the torch and continue to light the world in your area of expertise, love, and or passion. And you will join the ranks of other alumni, including an amazing alumni who became, are you ready? The mayor of Kirby, Kentucky. Oh, no, Kirby, Texas, I'm sorry. So let me say that again. An alumni who became the mayor in Texas, who came through an academy. So the sky is the limit. The only thing that will limit you is your own imagination and your own belief in yourself, and you've done it. So you're here today because people thought, and perhaps even you thought that you wouldn't make it to this day, but you did. Your resilience is inspiring. You've already conquered obstacles many adults have not completed. Let me say that again. You've accomplished a lot that some adults have not even experienced. Your resiliency gives you the ability to persist and pursue your dreams, and you will serve well in the years ahead. You are part of this community. You now have knowledge and education. Use them. You have a voice. Let it be heard. You have a voice. Let it be heard. Use it. You have talents. Share them. You guys are very amazing. My kids continually insult me about how I don't know how to use my phone, but you can communicate at a level and a speed that the snail mail and everything else is obsolete to. Those small talents, you think it's not a big deal? I promise you, when my phone is locked, I love my son when he unlocks it, even though he's giving me a lecture about not knowing how to use my phone. Those little things, they do make a difference. Whether your talents are poetry, painting, any skills you have, share those talents and your passion. You have the capacity to help. Fulfill it. Your communities need you, and we need your talents, your perseverance, your commitment, and your drive, because you are the next generation that will continue to make a difference for all of us. Your future is bright. You stand on the shoulders of your parents who gave you all that they have to ensure that you got to this day, regardless of what your path. It is not when you finish, it's that you do finish. High school graduates earn more in a lifetime. High school graduates bring a vision, commitment, drive, and a perspective. High school graduates are likely to get involved in other civic opportunities, community service, and any level of engagement because they know they've had leaders to show them how to lead. You are now leaders. You have a voice. You have talents. We're going to celebrate you here today, and you'll celebrate later, I'm sure. But it's so important to know how much you are valued, loved, seen, heard, and needed. You are the next generation of leaders. I challenge you to lead, be to your own drum, stay true to who you are and your passion, because our world depends on you. And for that, I am honored to be here to celebrate your day with your parents, all your loved ones, because this is the day that you deserve to be celebrated for all of your hard work. Let's give them another round of applause. I leave this with you, and this is a quote that my parents shared with me. Education is the key that you don't want to lose, for it opens up so many doors of opportunities. Use your key, because it is yours, you've earned it, you've deserved it. Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Neely. Over the last 11 years, we've been fortunate enough to have some very dynamic keynote speakers. We've had the pleasure of hearing from Super Bowl champion Jermaine Wiggins, former Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray, State Representatives Ted Spiliotis and Joan Lovely, District Attorney Jonathan Blodgett, and WHDH Channel 7's Victoria Warren. You may know today's guest speaker as Greg Hill's sidekick for 17 years. Danielle Murr was co-host of the Hillman Morning Show and the Greg Hill Show. Today, she's an animal advocate and rescuer and world traveler. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Ms. Danielle Murr to address the class of 2022.
Good morning, everybody. Seth, Mark, everyone here, thank you so much for inviting me. It is an absolute honor to be able to speak in front of you guys, but I'm curious, knowing that Wiggy gave the keynote speech at one point, do we have a time on that? Because I guarantee it went over 2 hours.
Pretty much.
So I had a bit of an unconventional path myself. I struggled quite a bit in high school, and I failed out of my first year of college, much to my mom's dismay. Much of it thanks to a raging case of undiagnosed ADHD, which I found out about 2 years ago. Explains so much. But I did a variety of different jobs before I landed in radio. Communications was always a passion of mine, but because of my snafu in college, had to come home, had to go to work. I worked in this very mall for a long time. And I want to talk to you today about the concept of time. There's an episode of The Twilight Zone, the original one, the black and white one, that starred a gentleman by the name of Burgess Meredith, who's a very well-known actor. And in this episode, he played a character named Henry Bemis. And Henry was a downtrodden bank teller. He was in a miserable marriage. His wife was quite mean to him. His boss was always on his case about something. But what Henry loved was knowledge. He loved to read. In fact, he kept a small book of poetry in the breast pocket of his sport coat. And one day he's at work and he's so distracted by trying to read and do his job at the same time that he shortchanged a customer. The customer complained to his manager, and his manager yelled at him. He's gotten a lot of trouble. So the next day, Henry decides he's going to take his lunch break in the only place that he can find solace, the bank vault. He goes in there, it's nice and quiet. All of a sudden, there's this earth-shaking boom. He opens the door, he goes upstairs, and the bank is in ruins. They had dropped an H-bomb. So Henry goes out into the streets, and he's looking around, and he's trying to see if there's anyone that has survived, and it doesn't seem that anyone has. And he starts getting very dismayed about the situation, even so far as thinking, how am I going to get out of this life? But then he perks up a little bit, and he goes to the grocery store and sees that there are some canned goods available, and all of a sudden he looks up and sees in the distance the library. And he thinks, oh my goodness, I can read now and no one's going to bother me. How wonderful. So he goes into the library and he starts pulling books off the ruined shelves and making them into piles and saying, this month, next month, the year after, the following year. And he said, now I have all the time in the world. And spoiler alert, granted you've had since 1959 to watch this episode, he drops his glasses and he breaks them. And now he can't read. And that's where the episode ends. But it's that phrase, all the time in the world, that I want to emphasize to you today, because time is in fact a finite resource. We don't have all the time in the world, as much as we think that we do. In fact, a running joke with my mom for many years, thanks to my questionable choices in dating, was that one day you're going to wake up and be 35 and alone. And joke's on her, because in about 6 weeks I'm going to wake up and be 45 and alone, but I'm fine with it. But there are two things that you can do with your time, graduates. You can spend it, or you can invest it. And there's room in life for both. Now, when you think about money, when you spend money, you don't really expect to get anything back from it. You might get a product or a service or a meal, but you're not really getting anything tangible back. However, when you invest your money, you expect there to be an ROI, a return on your investment. And the same thing happens with time. Balance is very important in your life. So it's okay to spend your time on frivolous things here and there and with people that don't really enrich your life, because that's the fun part of life, experiencing all those things, right? But I want you to be mindful about prioritizing investing your time. Because as has been mentioned many times today, learning is so important, and it is a lifelong process, and it is the key that unlocks so much for you in life. And I want you to make sure that you continue to learn throughout your life. Self-development and acquiring knowledge should be a lifelong process. And don't be afraid to learn or try new things. Nothing is set in stone. That's what I thought for so many years, that, okay, I'm going to do this, and that's the way life is going to be. And I have changed and changed and changed and reinvented myself, and it's been fun. It's work, mind you, but it's been a lot of fun. So I want you to remember, just like money, there's also a compound effect with time. When you put your money into the bank, that interest builds and it compounds. When you work on yourself and you learn and you invest your time, that also builds as well. And while you might only make a very small improvement today in your life or your knowledge, over time, that builds and you become so much of a better person. So if you have to, picture a little me on your shoulder, as weird as that might be in the future, just reminding you, invest your time wisely. The one thing you don't want to look back on years from now and think is that you wasted time. That's not an option for you guys. You have come so far, and you should be so incredibly proud of reaching this milestone today, because you did it, guys. You did it, and you should be unbelievably proud of yourselves, just like everyone here is. So make sure you invest that time wisely. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Sometimes it's a lot easier to stay in a situation that's comfortable, that isn't serving us, than it is to take that leap of faith and say, okay, I've got to have a difficult discussion. I've got to try something new, and this is hard, and it stinks, and I don't like it. But you know what? Someday you'll look back and be really glad that you did. So congratulations today to the class of 2022. I am so beyond proud of you guys, and I hope that everyone who spoke today has imparted a little bit of wisdom upon you, and that you can carry that with you through your next years. And I wish the best for all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Danielle, before you go, wow, that just jumped up, I have a token of appreciation for you. On behalf of all of us here at the Learning Academy, for your time and your wisdom, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
All right. It's going to be my pleasure to bring Andrea Neely back up to the stage in just 1 second. But this is not in part of the program, the script. This is just me going off on a totally different tangent. I had the pleasure of meeting Andrea Neely yesterday for the first time. And I can say to you all that maybe other than Seath, no one is happier than I am to have her serve as the new CEO and president of Simon Youth. It's such an important job, and it's such an important mission, and you all are a tribute to that. And I'm so excited to see where she takes the Simon Youth Foundation into a new, and I can tell you, dynamic future. I thought it was interesting. Lauren Dallas, who is my marketing director, had to help step in and help with some of Andrea's transportation yesterday. And she emailed me and she said, wow, Andrea is powerful. And that's such a fantastic, I thought, wow, that is spot on after I met her. I went home, I couldn't help talk about her to my family last night. I said, it's so great to see someone that will be such an instrumental force in the lives of so many people in the future. And so, Andrea, it's my pleasure to welcome you back up. By the way, before I forget, Andrea has 4 children. 2 of them are twins, boys. So she's an expert, I think, on understanding how to deal with high school age students. So parents, feel free to come up afterwards and you can all congratulate each other. So Andrea, without further ado, I welcome you back up to the stage.
I paid him for that introduction. And thank you, Lauren. Yes, I am a mother of 4. I have 2 sons. They're my last 2. And so, yes, I know so much about making mistakes, making good decisions, but also listening to the passion of my children. The Simon Youth Foundation gives me an opportunity to go across the country to do this important work. I see you. I see each of you, your talent, your ambition, and even though your journey wasn't like anyone else's, who wants to be like everybody else? And so I celebrate you and the ability to work with some amazing, passionate team members. I'm not new to education. I'm new to the Simon Foundation. It gives me an ability to make a difference. Education will do that because my story, my parents didn't finish their college education. My father didn't finish his high school education because he needed to work. I understand the value. So the key that my parents instilled is something that's made a difference. And so today, Simon is here because of a founding member, Tim Ernest. He is no longer with us, but his vision was to meet students where they were. And at the time, Simon Youth Foundation was born out of the fact that students were not hanging in school, they were hanging out in our mall. And so what did he do? He brought the education to where the students were, and it is in this mall, and you are the result of that vision. And part of that vision, his legacy, was to invest in better futures for our students through continuing and supporting their education drive. And so today, we would like to, again, honor that legacy of Tom Ernest, who was a Simon Property Group leader, to continue to invest in and celebrate and know that students, you may not have gotten one today, but there's many other scholarships and opportunities for you. But today, we're going to celebrate someone in your class who did some amazing work, commitment. And so, I would ask that Brady Rios please join me. So it is, again, like I said, this is an honor and a privilege to award a 4-year scholarship valued at $15,000 to invest in your future and to help you pursue where you're going to go. And that is, sky is the limit. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Brady. Today, our graduates will be honored for providing service to their community. Each month, our students complete a community service project and provide leadership to our city. This year alone, our seniors served 1,172 meals to our homeless, spent time reading in our elementary schools, and conducted a blanket drive which produced over 150 blankets for homeless children during the holiday seasons. Graduates will be recognized for their work by receiving the President's Education Award Golden Cord. Students will now be invited on stage to receive their high school diploma, President Education Award, and since today is their day and everyone's the valedictorian, I also invite each student to say a few words after I award them their diploma. It is with great honor that I award the following students their diploma. Ms. Catherine Aguirre.
Hello, everybody. I don't really know what to say. I'm not very good at this. There's a lot of you. But these past 4 years have not been very easy. It's been a struggle. I'm getting emotional, as you can tell. But I just can't thank Miss Murray, Mr. Tinglis, and Mr. Bedard, my mother, my family. I can't thank you all enough. Without you guys, I probably wouldn't have finished on time, probably wouldn't have finished at all. It's been a journey, but it's been an awesome journey, and I'm just so happy I met you guys. I was a pain in the butt for Mr. B. You know, he did call me a few times trying to get me out and do my schoolwork, but, you know, I did it, and I can't say enough. Just thank you. It's just a thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Pedro Borba.
I just want to thank my family and everyone here at PLA.
Claudio da Silva.
Great job. Congratulations. Your diploma comes with next week.
All right. Yeah.
How's that feel?
Oh, pretty good.
Pretty good? Oh.
I've been here for 6 years. This PLA. I'm a super duper senior. But I just want to thank everybody for showing up today. Thank you.
Barbara Fazzolo.
I just want to thank Mr. B and my teachers.
Tanner Fessenden.
Congratulations. Great job. Right? How's that diploma?
I just want to say there was a lot of things that changed in my life this year. I was scared I was never going to like the way I looked or how I felt. I used to weigh 187 pounds. I now weigh 140. I came into the school being scared I wouldn't make a lot of friends outside my friend circle. And I ended up being welcomed with open arms and people that cared about me a lot and like made me feel like a human. Freshman year all the way through junior year, I failed all of my classes to life and health complications. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm coming out here today, finishing the most classes in a year at the Peabody Learning Academy and on highest honors. So I'm very thankful for my teachers, Mr. T, Ms. Murray, Mr. Bedard for being kind of scary, but overall, my life has been changing for the better, and it's been really amazing. I don't know what the future is going to hold, and I am a little bit scared, but I do have a quote that was said by my Uncle Joey, who passed away in 2018. God bless his heart. It says a lot about life in general. It's a really good story. There's a lot of funny parts. There's a lot of sad parts, but it is a very good story, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you.
Dominic Gator.
Voila. In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity. I'm kidding. They told me to do a speech. I wanted to mess around. Anyways, I really, really deeply thank all the teachers here, 2 teachers, Mr. Tanglis and Miss Murray, and I also love to thank Mr. B. I was a pain in his butt, too. But yeah, I really appreciate this opportunity, and thank you very much.
J-Rel Guerrero Luna.
So first of all, I just want to thank my mother. There in the blue dress. So just sticking through me and everything. I love you. And I was also told to write a short speech. So I put, I am glad to be here today, at last, receiving my diploma. Happy to close this chapter and see what lies ahead. I cherish all those moments spent in PLA, from the early morning calls when I was late to staying after school to get more work done. I am thankful to have met Mr. Bedard, Miss Murray, Mr. Tanglis, for after these 2 years they feel like family more than just teachers. That's all. Thank you.
Christian Isaac.
Finally made it. All right, here you go.
To be honest, I was supposed to write a speech, but I go through my life freestyling a lot, so that's what we're gonna do. So I actually didn't start my school term out in Peabody, so when I came, I was kind of like a junior, trying to make it as a senior. Didn't really know that much people, but I was trying to focus on, getting what I had to get done with the time that I was given, and the opportunity that I got from, who was the dean at the last? Who was my dean? Mr. Crow. So I had a meeting with him, and he kind of told me, look, bud, your grades aren't there, and your performance is kind of falling off. We have this other program that we could put you through. You could, get everything that you got to get done. And, I just appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate Mr. Bedard, Ms. Murray, Mr. T, of course, because, math was never really my subject at all, but he kind of pushed me through it. I also want to thank my social worker, because I really don't have anybody here for me today. So, love you. And I also want to thank my moms, because I actually got placed in a predicament. She let me stay with her, though, while I was finishing school. So, yeah, gotta love her. Thank you, guys.
I disagree with you, Christian. You have people here for you today. You have us, and you'll always have us. Brian Jackick.
I just want to thank Mr. B, of course, you know what I mean, helped me out a lot. Mr. T and Miss Mary. I was only here a couple months, you know, not a couple years like the rest of people, but you guys really helped me through everything. I got done everything I needed to be done. You guys supported me through it all. Really appreciate you. I also want to give a shout out to my boy, Matthew Spinelli. Love you, man. Thank you, guys.
Annie McGovern.
So I walked into PLA today and Mr. B told me I had to give a speech. And I was like, yeah, right, not happening. No, it's really happening. So I didn't start off at PLA, I started off at high school. Wasn't going well, didn't plan on graduating. Don't mind me. Mr. B and Miss Murray and Mr. T really helped me out. Oh my God, I can't do this. It's like my sister's wedding all over again. But I really can't thank them enough. They've done everything for me. And I really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them and my family, and my boyfriend's family, and my siblings, and my sister is my biggest support system, and my amazing niece, who I just live for. And I just appreciate everybody, and thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you, Mr. B, so much. Thank you for kicking me in the butt when I needed it, because, you know, wasn't showing up on most days, but I got that call. But thank you guys, thank you everybody.
Congratulations, all right?
James Nicanello.
I'm really thankful for the opportunity to come here and all the rides I got after I missed the bus once or twice or maybe more. I'm definitely going to miss everybody, especially the staff and the teachers, so just wanted to say thank you to everyone who made this possible, because I wouldn't have graduated without this place.
Caitlin Fay.
I wasn't prepared for a speech today. I just walked in and they were like, you gotta give a speech. So here I am. I want to thank everybody for coming. I really want to thank my mom for pushing me here. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional too. But I want to thank my teachers, Mr. Murray, Mr. T, Mr. B for pushing me here. I probably wouldn't make it. I've been here for like a couple months because I didn't make senior year. I'm glad Mr. B gave me the opportunity to graduate. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
Joanna Krajarzi.
I don't like public speaking. Basically, I've always been told that no one's really gonna accommodate me when I need help, and no one's gonna like give you a push. No one's gonna force you to do the work. You have to have that drive on your own, and that was really scary to hear all the time because I didn't think I had that drive. But Mr. B will. He will force you. He will kick you in the butt whenever, all the time, every day, if it needs to happen. And he did. I did give him a little bit of a hard time, but thank you for being a little terrifying, Mr. B. And thank you, Miss Murray and Mr. T, for even when I wasn't really there to learn, you still forced some knowledge into my brain. And I think I did learn some things that are actually going to stick with me and I actually cared about, so thank you for that. And lastly, thanks to my dad that didn't make me feel stupid for having to come here in order to graduate, so.
Brady Rios.
I'm very grateful I was given the opportunity to attend the academy. I went from missing 65 days freshman year to doing excellent in all my classes, and I'm going to be attending Endicott in the fall, so I couldn't have done it without... I couldn't have done it without my family, my teachers, and Mr. B for being a pain in the butt and getting me to school every day, so he's a special one, so I'm thankful for all of you. Thank you.
The 1 year we invite Cablevision, I am told I am scary and a pain in the butt. Could not have worked out any better. Matthew Spinelli.
I know a lot of people don't get this opportunity, and I feel like I almost didn't. But Mr. B gave me this opportunity, and I never thought I was going to graduate. And that's really sad. I think it's sad. But thank you to the teachers. Thank you to Mr. B. That's about it. Thank you, guys.
Derek Stark.
Couldn't do this without, of course, Mr. Bedard, all the teachers, and of course without my boys, Tanner, Bessenden, Brian Silvera, got James DiCinello, and we got my boy Zach Wilson in the back over there, yeah. And then wherever my mom is, thank you to her too.
Brian Silvera.
Holy crap. I want to thank my teachers, my parents. Thank you, Mr. B, for being my personal alarm clock on Wednesdays. Remote days were the best. But I want to thank Mr. T for giving me the opportunity to take personal finance. Shout out. Dave Ramsey has forever changed my life, and I'm going to end this with one of his quotes. To be like no one else, you gotta live like no one else.
Justin Young.
Oh, wow. Hi. Just like my baseball coach always said, save the best for last. I just want to say thank you to Mr. B for always pushing me to do my work, come to class, because I was a very big slacker. Junior year, 140 days missed. But I got my stuff together, and I finished school, and we're all going to do great things in life. I can't wait to see us. Thank you.
We have one more award to give away. Each year I allow the staff to choose a Student of the Year. The criteria is based on which I told you guys I was going to mess up. I messed up. Each year we award a Student of the Year, and it best exemplifies the core values in which the Academy was founded on, such as being a disciplined student, having dedication to the community, possessing a strong work ethic, and having good character in and out of the classroom. Choosing one student is not an easy task. However, the teachers came up with one, and I think they did a very good job. This year's student is someone that arrived at the Academy not liking school at all. Our Student of the Year went from never attending school to only missing 3 days this year. That's very impressive for anyone during a pandemic. Tanner Fessenden was not only a hardworking student, but a leader amongst his peers, and we are very honored to present him our Student of the Year award. For our closing remarks, I'd like to invite Mark Whiting back on stage to address our students one last time. Mark?
Well, first of all, never done this before, but, you know, I think when you think back, a lot of teachers, you know, you can't really remember some of who your teachers were in high school. And when you hear what the students here had to say, and hopefully what they feel in their hearts, you know, I am going to take a moment and just recognize Sarah and Kevin. I've been watching you all ceremony. And, you know, I think we all come to work each day hoping to do the best we can. And Sarah and Kevin and Seth, as you've heard, you know, they accomplish great things here every day. The students know that. They feel that in their hearts. And they'll always be able to remember who their favorite 3 high school teachers were. I can tell you that, guys. And that's meaningful. And that will last you your whole life. You know, a lot of people come here to shop, to eat, to walk around. You came here to get your high school diploma. That's different. That's unusual. It takes some bravery in itself to say, I'm going to the Peabody Learning Academy today when a lot of other kids were going up to the high school. But you did it. You did it your way. So from the mall each year, we give each graduate a package, which you now have in front of you, a gift. And that's a frame to hold your high school diploma. And we hope you always look at that and remember these days, remember these times, and feel great about it, because you absolutely should. Within the package, there's a small poem that I give out every year, and it's so meaningful to me. It's representative of my family's life, of my life. And I hope you take the time to read it, maybe not today, but when you have a quiet moment and you can sit down and take a look at it, I think it will impart true meaning to you all, to the students, maybe even to the parents. And I'm going to just read 2 passages. It's from one of my favorite poets, Robert Frost. And it says, 2 roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler long as I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. And like you, what the poet here is saying is, you know, you had 2 paths you could choose from. And you had to take a moment and really think about that path. Just like Danielle was mentioning. She had to choose from many paths. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there, and I had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black, or I marked the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I should be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one, you took the one, less traveled by. And that made all the difference. That's your choice. You've got to do something with it. Make that path today make all the difference in the months and years to come. With that said, it is my deep pleasure and great pride to have the class of 22 stand up and take the credit they so deeply deserve. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, that concludes our ceremony. You're graduates. Great job.